Morning mist coils between the vineyard rows like a living thing, tasting of ozone and possibility. You run your fingers along the peculiar vines, feeling static electricity spark between the leaves. These aren't ordinary grapes. Their translucent skins reflect yesterday's thunderstorm, tiny lightning bolts still dancing inside each fruit. The harvest basket weighs heavy on your hip as you select the ripest clusters. Your grandmother taught you how to read these signs, how to know exactly when each variety has absorbed enough of nature's chaos to be transformed into something extraordinary. Through gaps in the morning fog, you spot the strange metallic trellises that make this magic possible. Their copper frameworks reach toward the sky like lightning rods, channeling raw weather energy into the waiting fruit. In your basket, the storm-infused grapes crackle against each other, their contained tempests eager to be released. These will become bottles of Thunder's heart, a vintage that fills those who drink it with the wild courage of storm chasers. Other clusters, heavy with captured sunlight, will become summer's memory, allowing sippers to taste August warmth even in deepest winter. The fog begins to lift, revealing more rows of weather-drinking vines stretching toward the horizon. You check your weather-worn notebook, comparing the patterns in today's grapes with your grandmother's careful observations. "The storms are growing stronger each year," she wrote, "and so must our wines." Thunder rolls across the valley as you carefully position the copper collection vessels beneath your strongest vines. The air crackles with potential, and your weather-sensitive pendant glows blue against your chest. A storm is coming, one powerful enough to create the rare vintage your grandmother called lightning's kiss. The first heavy drops strike the vineyard's metallic trellises, sending ripples of energy through the specialized wire networks. Your vines respond immediately, their leaves turning silvery white, reaching upward like hungry fingers. The grapes themselves begin to transform, their usual purple darkness giving way to a luminescent transparency that mirrors the churning clouds above. The thunder that follows vibrates through the ground and into the roots, infusing the vines with raw power that will give this vintage its distinctive resonance. In your notebook, you record the storm's patterns, noting the precise temperature of the rain and the intervals between lightning strikes. These details will determine how the weather wine develops during fermentation. Already you can tell this will be a special harvest, perhaps even rivaling your grandmother's legendary vintages. You step out into the rain-freshened air, touching a nearby grape with reverent fingers. Inside its skin, tiny lightning bolts dance in endless loops, waiting to be transformed into liquid poetry. The first rays of dawn illuminate your grandmother's vineyard, revealing rows of vines unlike any others in the world. Morning dew slides along the metalwork, each drop containing a tiny rainbow that speaks of yesterday's scattered showers. Your fingers brush against a cluster of grapes, and you feel the static charge within them, a testament to last week's lightning storm. These aren't ordinary fruits. Their semi-transparent skins reveal swirling weather patterns trapped inside, waiting to be transformed into wines that capture nature's very essence. The weather-worn notebook in your pocket contains generations of secrets, precise formulas for harvesting fog-touched grapes at dawn, the exact moment to pick storm-infused fruit, and how to blend different weather patterns into harmonious vintages. Your grandmother's handwriting fills most pages, but now your own notes join hers, adding new discoveries about these remarkable vines. A cool breeze carries the scent of approaching rain, and the trellises begin to hum in anticipation. You check the nearest cluster of grapes. They're already beginning to clear, preparing to absorb whatever weather pattern nature offers next. In the distance, your grandmother's old weather tower stands sentinel, its copper spire reaching toward the clouds. The instruments she designed still spin and whirl, measuring patterns that ordinary vintners would never think to track. The copper shears feel alive in your hands as you move between the vines, selecting clusters heavy with yesterday's storm. Each grape contains a perfect miniature thunderhead, dark and brooding against its translucent skin. The air still holds traces of ozone, making your weather pendant pulse with a steady blue light, the ideal conditions for harvesting lightning-touched fruit. Your basket fills slowly as you choose only the most powerful specimens. Through your special harvesting gloves, you can sense which fruits have absorbed just the right amount of storm energy to create what your grandmother called Thunder's heart wine. The morning mist parts to reveal your great-grandfather's weather tower, its ancient instruments tracking patterns invisible to ordinary vintners. The copper spire atop it glows with residual energy from the storm feeding power into the vineyard's network of metallic trellises. In your weathered notebook, you record the precise conditions of each cluster, the intensity of their internal lightning, the depth of their thunder echo, the exact shade of storm gray swirling within. These details will guide the fermentation process, ensuring that when the wine is finally bottled, it will carry the true essence of the tempest. A distant rumble makes you pause and look skyward. Another storm approaches, but these grapes are already claimed by yesterday's weather. Each step feels charged with possibility, knowing that these storm-touched grapes will become wine capable of letting people taste the raw power of nature itself. The tasting room buzzes with anticipation as you uncork the first bottle of Thunder's Heart wine. The liquid inside glows with a faint bluish light, and tiny lightning bolts dance beneath its surface. The storm you captured last month has matured perfectly in the copper-bound barrels, its wild energy transformed into something both powerful and controlled. The taste of petrichor fills the room, and for a moment, everyone present feels the electric thrill of standing beneath storm clouds. Static electricity makes their hair rise slightly, and the deep rumble of distant thunder echoes in their chests, though the sky outside remains clear. Through the window, you notice more townspeople gathering, drawn by an instinct they don't quite understand. The weather wine calls to them, promising a taste of nature's raw power. Your grandmother's final notes predicted this, how the wines would affect not just those who drink them, but the very atmosphere around them. The bottles of summer's memory in your cellar have been creating patches of warmth in the winter air, while the frost's kiss vintage makes delicate ice patterns form on nearby windows, even in summer. As you pour another glass, you notice the weather pendant around your neck pulsing in rhythm with the wine's inner lightning. In your weather-worn notebook, you begin recording these effects, adding another chapter to your family's legacy of capturing the essence of the sky itself. Dark clouds mass above the vineyard like an invading army, their edges crackling with malevolent purple lightning. Your weather pendant burns cold against your chest, warning of a storm unlike any you've seen before. The copper trellises hum with dangerous intensity, their ancient symbols glowing with absorbed energy. The vines strain toward the storm with unusual hunger, their leaves taking on a metallic sheen. In their transparent grapes, previous weather patterns clash and swirl, responding to the atmospheric pressure like tiny barometers gone mad. The first lightning strike hits your great-grandfather's weather tower, its copper spire absorbing more power than it was ever meant to handle. The energy courses through the vineyard's network of trellises, making the ground itself vibrate. Your grandmother's final journal entry warned of this, a convergence of weather patterns so powerful it could either destroy or transform the vineyard. The storm above seems to take shape, forming into something almost conscious, drawn by generations of captured weather. Each lightning strike now feels deliberate, probing the vineyard's defenses. In the wine cave, bottles of weather wine respond to the storm's call, their contents swirling and pulsing with sympathetic energy. You realize with sudden clarity what must be done, not to fight the storm, but to help the vineyard embrace it, to transform its fury into the most powerful vintage ever created. Your hands move quickly over the copper control panels, redirecting the power flow, preparing for either salvation or destruction. Dawn breaks over a transformed vineyard, the air shimmering with residual energy from last night's supernatural storm. The copper trellises gleam like new, their weather-catching symbols reorganized by the tempest's power into even more complex patterns. Your weather pendant hangs quiet against your chest, but its crystal has changed color, now showing depths of purple and gold you've never seen before. In the distance, your great-grandfather's weather tower stands taller than ever, its copper spire somehow straightened and strengthened by the very force that threatened to destroy it. Their leaves show traces of metallic veining, and the grapes contain weather patterns you didn't think possible, perfect miniature auroras, microscopic whirlwinds dancing with ball lightning, the essence of dawn mist waltzing with evening stars. Your grandmother's journal never mentioned anything like this, but somehow you feel she knew it was possible. In the wine cave, the stored vintages have changed too. The cave itself has become part of the vineyard's weather working system, its walls now lined with naturally formed copper veins that pulse in rhythm with the atmospheric pressure above. You open your weather-worn notebook, its pages still damp from the storm, and begin to document these changes. The vineyard hasn't just survived, it has evolved, becoming something your ancestors only dreamed of. The tasting room hums with energy as you pour the first glasses of Aurora's dream, the vintage born from that transformative storm. Each crystal goblet contains swirling ribbons of color that mirror the northern lights, while tiny lightning bolts dance between sips of liquid starlight. Your weather pendant pulses in harmony with the wine, its new purple-gold crystal casting ethereal patterns across the gathered faces. Through the windows, you can see the evolved vineyard stretching toward the horizon. Patches of localized weather float between the rows, here a gentle snow shower, there a warm summer breeze, each contained within its own perfect sphere of influence. The townspeople have embraced the vineyard's transformation, understanding at last the delicate balance between chaos and cultivation. Local artists set up easels among the vines, capturing the ever-changing light on canvas. Your grandmother's final journal entry rests open beside the tasting notes, its prophecy now clear. The vineyard was never meant to simply capture weather, but to create a harmony between human artistry and nature's wild heart. Each bottle now tells a story of that partnership, letting people taste not just the weather, but the very poetry of the sky. As you raise your own glass, the liquid inside mirrors your reflection, surrounded by dancing auroras and gentle thunderclaps. The vineyard has become more than a place. It's a living collaboration between earth and air, science and magic, chaos and dreams. Follow for more stories like this one.